Well, hello and welcome to SoCal Prep Report. We're going to have a fun night for you this evening. A lot of football. We're going to talk flag football in the LA City section, overall the CIF Southern section and the LA City section. A lot of big football games in the playoffs, a little bit of volleyball, a little bit of basketball as well. It's going to be a fun night. I'm Randy Rosenblum, your host, joined as always by Tariq Fatal. By the way, we're going to have Brooke on in a little bit, Brooke Kalama, the head coach from Sylmar, to talk about one of those flag football games. She's in the D1 final against a pretty good team from Verdugo Hills. Tariq, great to see you as always.
Good to see you, Randy. We're in the busiest time of the year. It's the fall to winter crossover. As the fall sports enter their championships, it's really intense, right? Playoffs, basketball season, soccer season is getting underway. So you got two seasons meshing at one point. Busy time of the year.
Before we check out flag football, we need to talk about Rick Harrington. He was a coach and just retired from Hart High School in Newhall from 46 years of experience. 46 years. It's a school that's won 9 CIF football championships. Great tradition. Rick Harrington stepping down.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the great high school football families in Southern California. Rick, Dean, and Mike Harrington. Dean, obviously the coach at St. Francis. Mike no longer coaching, and Rick finally retires. And you know, can I just share one thing about all three of them? All good sense of humor. So despite all the years and all the gray hairs they grew coaching high school football, good sense of humor, I think that's what keeps you going.
And they all knew how to coach quarterbacks. You know, Kyle Matter, Kyle Bowler, Matt Moore. It was a cauldron of quarterbacks that came out of Hart High School for a long time. Those are just 3 of them, but there was a lot more. Rick Harrington, great job. Enjoy your retirement. All right, some of these coaches are going to retire for the season. Do or die, high school flag football in the LA City section. We had some terrific semifinal games, and these are the teams that went through. We're going to start with Sylmar, and again, we're going to talk to Brooke, their head coach, in a moment. They got by Garfield 14-6. They actually trailed in this game 6-0.
Yeah, it's a tremendous result. Obviously, you always want to punch your ticket to the final, and so it seemed like a really close one.
Yeah, they're going to take on Verdugo Hills, who knocked off Cleveland. Speaking of close, a very competitive game, 20-15. Fitzgerald does a nice job with the program there. Darren Fitzgerald, he's the former boys football coach, doing a nice job with the girls. He's got them into the finals against Sylmar. So that's our matchup in D1. In the open division, San Pedro with great theatrics. They had to rally. They were down to Eagle Rock at half. They get a touchdown late and a 2-point conversion in the final seconds to win and go to the open final 2019 over a very good Eagle Rock team.
The first 3 scores we're seeing here, we're seeing close games. You want competitive games in the playoffs, especially in the semifinals, and I think it's a great sign for girls flag football. And I know, if I'm not mistaken, Dick Dornan, Vicky Lagos at the city section, I want to say they had 50-some teams, 52 teams, something like that this year, and I think they're expecting maybe 70 next year, so the participation will go up.
By the way, Jenna Ortega, that quarterback at San Pedro, real cool customer who led them down the field for victory. There's the other game that wasn't close.
Sure.
So it's going to be Birmingham taking on San Pedro. Birmingham, Jessica Rose was terrific. Rachel Lowry, and they play 2 quarterbacks at the same time. That's how it is in flag football. They'll throw to one another. Lowry and Rose were wonderful for Birmingham. Easy victory.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it off air. I think anything Jim Rose touches in the city section tends to do well. So the quest to win a open division football championship and girls flag football championship is still intact for Birmingham coach Jim Rose.
And again, Jessica Rose, the star player, is his daughter. All right, let's talk to Brooke Kalama. She's the head coach at Sylmar. Her Spartans are doing very well, thank you. They have a nice match coming up against a very good Verdugo Hills team. And I know, Brooke, you're very familiar with this Verdugo Hills team. You played them earlier in the year and won in overtime, so you obviously understand it's going to be a tough game, right?
I believe so, and it seems to me that it's really going to be whether or not we're up by the time the time runs out. I know Verdugo is going to bring it, and we're going to show them a couple different things this time, so we'll see.
You got a pretty good girls, I know you believe in your quarterback, too, Hurtado. You think she's got the best arm in flag football in Los Angeles. Tell us about her.
I do. She is, she also plays softball, and she's very accurate. She can throw far. It's just whether or not our girls can catch it. We do have a couple of girls that have just been dynamite all season. Mia Seha has caught most of her passes. If she's in the vicinity, that girl can catch. And like I said, Leslie has a arm. She can go 40 yards. It's you just have to see it, and I know you'll see it on Saturday. So,
Coach, I kind of want you to take me through the transitioning of learning flag football and then coaching flag football and then finding a way for the girls to consume what you're teaching them, right? Kind of layers to it all. If you can, talk us about that transition. And now here you are in the championship.
yeah, okay. Well, I'm a basketball girl. I'm born and raised basketball, so I had to use basketball terms, and so instead of like a short pass, I use basketball terms that, hey, we got to do short shots, and they're looking at me like, what? Um, and it was a transition for me because as you know, the rules changed 4 times in the season, and as we just got used to the rules, they changed again as we're all trying to figure out what it's supposed to look like for the season. And I really honestly had to teach the girls how to catch, and I needed to figure out if we had more than one girl that could throw. And it turns out we have about 4 we didn't really use that can throw, and we had to teach them how to lateral, how to back pass, how to handle just the rules and what we can do after you pass the line of scrimmage. And we just baby stepped it and didn't give them too much. Just, the old saying, how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And that's how we did it. And we ended up changing our defense towards the end. And it's been what got us to the final game. So, and the girls, it's just crazy because none of them had played, and most didn't know how to catch.
Well, kudos to you. Kudos to you for improving your team. I like that analogy. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I like that a lot. Yeah. Well, now here you are about to play in a championship. So what has been your message to the girls through this week? Because, to me it seems like a lot of it's been like a sip of water out of a fire hydrant. You got to learn the game, play the games, and now next thing you know, you're winning big games, and here you are, you got a championship to win on Saturday against a team you've already played that's trying to get you guys back. So what has been your message this week?
This week, and I've personally been to championships, and I was victorious a couple of times in my high school career. So the thing I really have stressed to the girls is to not think about anything but what their job is. What's your job description? And what does that look like? And stay focused on that. And don't think about what's happening outside of that. Smell the air, but outside of that, just play ball. And we're not thinking about what could happen. We're thinking about what we can do and what we're capable of doing and what we can add to what we're doing. And that's it. We're not thinking about what they can do, what they're not going to do. We're not thinking about that. We're just one more game. And I haven't allowed them to really think 3 games ahead. It doesn't make any sense for us to do that. We just have to focus on the next game. And for us, it's just the next game. We're not thinking of it as a championship game. We're thinking of it as one more time that we get to show up and hopefully be victorious again against Woodrow Hills.
Well, you're the highest seed left, the number 5 seed. They didn't get quite all the seedings correct. It's the first year. It's new for everyone. But my last question to you, before we wish you well and see you on Saturday, we're going to have viewers watching flag football for the first time. A lot of different rules. Really don't want you to go over all the rules, but what should the general viewer watching on LA36, on LA36.org, and on the NFHS network this weekend, Saturday at 3 o'clock, what should they look for? What's a rule that'll catch their eye?
So it's a little different. You can't run inside of 5 yards from a line to gain, which is the first down, right? So the field should be set up as a 20-yard marker, a 40-yard marker, and another 20 on the other end. And then we are not allowed to run inside of 5 yards of each line to gain. And there's certain things that we can do before the line of scrimmage. Obviously, it's very similar to to football in that regard, but we can do things that you can't do in football. So it's going to be a little bit different for even the viewers. I've had viewers stand on the sidelines and still be a little bit confused on the rules. So you're going to have to be the one to help them out with that.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'll tell you this, it's a lot of fun. I had an opportunity to check out a game this week, and it's a little bit different. They throw the football down the field, and it is very entertaining. And it could be a wet day on Saturday, so you have to deal with the inclement weather perhaps as well. Brooke, thanks a lot. Best of luck. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks.
Congratulations on getting all the way to the championship.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Going to be a competitive game. Certainly Verdugo's got a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think the element of it being a repeat always makes it a little bit more fun. And so, especially when the first game was so close, you know, I'd anticipate the final being just as close.
Yeah, maybe we'll have another overtime game between those two teams. Of course, it will be Saturday on LA 36. It's our Pacific Surfliner Games of the Week, really. Pacific Surfliner presenting these games. And there it is, the Girls Flag Football Championships. At 3 o'clock, the D1 game, Brooks' team from Sylmar against Verdugo Hills. The Open Division, San Pedro and Birmingham. Birmingham's undefeated. They're 11-0, so San Pedro's the number 1 seed. Birmingham a little bit lower seeded because they didn't play as many games. But a lot of people, including Tark, seems to think Birmingham's going to win it.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are the team to beat in the Open final.
All right, let's turn our attention to some prep football, Southern Section playoff action. We did have some monumental games last week, and I have to start off with the Murrieta Valley game. 53-52. They got a 2-point play very late. You see that Dorian ran it in, game-winning 53-52 decision. Rancho Cucamonga had a great year, but congratulations to Murrieta Valley.
Yeah, Dorian Hose has been putting up big numbers all year for the Nighthawks, and if you go online and Google it or search it on Twitter or what have you, you will see Dorian Hose. His 2-point play was quite controversial. They're not sure if he got it, you know, one of those plays. But gutsy 2-point call, and it pays off, and they are in the Division II semifinals.
How about Servite out of the very talented Trinity League getting by Long Beach Poly? Now, I thought Long Beach Poly would probably win this division or certainly make a deeper run, but Quaid Carr got the game-winning touchdown in the overtime for the Friars to win at 27-20.
It's a testament to two things. Obviously, you never know who's going to win these games, because I would agree with you. Long Beach Poly was probably the favored team, per se. However, it just goes to show you the strength of the Trinity League. You know, you drop down what was one of the bottom teams in that league into Division II, and look at them. You know, they're 1 win away from being in the final.
That was Division II. Let's check out Division III. There was another great game. And again, we're talking great games here. These are the games that really were phenomenal finishes. San Juan Hills over Citrus Valley, decided by a touchdown in a very high-scoring game.
San Juan Hills has kind of been like a surprise team. They've got a couple impact transfers, and they've had quite the season. I believe they only have 1 loss.
How about our Warren Bears right down the road in Downey here? They got by Oak Hills of Hesperia 34-33, another sensational game.
That might have even been a double overtime game. I know it went into overtime for sure, and that might have been another gutsy 2-point conversion type game. I know that there were some field goals or maybe some field goal misses. It was drama. The Bears move on.
Bears always move on. Newberry Park's been my favorite team all season because they just play explosive football, high energy, high octane offense. They win high scoring games, and again they beat Foothill from Orange County in a very good game, 41-34. We're going to talk about Rosenthal, the great receiver of Newberry Park, here in a bit. He had a monster game, but Newberry Park seems to win these kind of games all the time, and they did it in the Division V playoffs.
I know we'll talk about it a little bit, and if we don't, I'll talk about it now. Their semifinal game is against Thousand Oaks, and so that'll be a huge local semifinal for that community, and that is really, really exciting. So I wanted to get that out of there, but of course, it's not surprising. Their quarterback, Brady Smigel, is one of the top signal callers in the country, and so he can put the ball wherever he wants to, and he does prefer to put it in Shane Rosenthal's hands.
It's a good idea. Huntington Beach got a big win. Again, another high-scoring game, 36-33 over Ontario Christian. This is in Division 6.
Yeah, really, really another. This is what's good to see, right? It's good to see quarterfinal games that come down to the wire. In my opinion, that makes the system look better. Now, I know we're only going through the big games. There were some lopsided ones too, but hey, it's going to happen.
All right, time for the semifinals. Let's check out some of these brackets. This is going to be fun. We're going to go through a few of these brackets, really 1 through 5. Tarek, I know we see the big boys here, St. John Bosco and Corona Centennial in one semi, and Sierra Canyon, which is undefeated, and Mater Dei, which is once beaten.
I saw Eric Sonheimer at Harvard Westlake from the LA Times earlier this week. I asked him where he was going on Friday, and he thinks St. John Bosco Corona Centennial is the bigger toss-up. I said, yeah, you might have a point. However, I believe the bigger story potential is that Sierra Canyon Mater Dei game, because if Sierra Canyon can pull off the upset, that would be pretty remarkable. So that's where I'll be on Friday. I think it's fair to say Bosco and Mater Dei are favored in each matchup. All
right, let's go to the next bracket. Again, these are semifinals. We're checking them all out here. This will be very nice to take a look at. Should be another great semifinal.
Yeah, Marietta Valley and Mission Viejo, Sarah of Gardena and Servite. Every game in the Division II semifinals, there's 4 of them. I say every game like there was a bunch, but there's 4 of them, and they're all toss-ups. Anyone can beat anybody. Mission Viejo, we do not know who will be in the Division II final.
Sincere Rainey of Sarah for the Cavaliers, the running backs, another guy who's had a phenomenal year. All right, let's move ahead to the next bracket. We're going to move ahead to Division III, and San Juan Hills seems to be playing great football this time of year. There's the Warren Bears and the Chaminade Eagles, which is a matchup I know you're eyeing closely.
Right. Again, just these 4 teams, 2 games, Chaminade and Warren. It's an interesting, like I mentioned about Servite and Trinity League. Hey, how about a testament to the Mission League? Look at Chaminade. Has an okay year, but does enough in the Mission League to get dropped down to Division III, and here they are 1 win away from getting to the final.
Tough one, though, against the Warren Bears.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and check out Division 4 here, the CIF Southern section. Here are our semifinal games. Yorba Linda on top against a very good Corona Del Mar team. And then Culver City and La Serna. La Serna's played big boy football.
Correct.
They're the team that knocked Newbury Park all over the field.
La Serna's a team that they scheduled up. So they have quite a few losses, but it's because they played so many powerhouse teams. I will take a bold shot, though, on this division. I think whoever wins the Yorba Linda Corona Del Mar game is going to win the division.
All right, the final division, Division 5, we'll check out. These will be very good games as well. Of course, there's Newbury Park and Thousand Oaks. By the way, good old friend of mine, Ben McEnroe, coached at Cal Lutheran, now coaching at TO, took over the program this year. Obviously, he's got him in the semis. And down on that lower bracket, don't know as much about the Western Pioneers and Orange Vista, but that should be a good game as well.
I find it hard to believe that Newbury Park or Thousand Oaks are not going to win that division.
I find it hard to believe they're matched up against one another in the semis. That's
pretty
a great
cool.
sign for Ventura
we're
County
talking,
football.
A few miles apart from each other.
But that's good for Ventura County football.
It is.
All right, let's check out the LA City section. There was a great quarterfinal game. I'm on the bandwagon, Tarek. Dimely Bulldogs. He's been preaching the gospel about Dimely all year. Dimely wins. They knock off Dorsey 29-28. What a phenomenal game. Bryant Collins had 3 touchdowns, scored a winning 2-point conversion,
right.
And now they're moving along in D1. So let's take a look at the city section brackets, and this should be fun to take a look at as well. Obviously, Birmingham is the team to beat in the open division.
Right, but if we're looking at now we're looking at the open. Yeah, no problem. Hey, look, I think this is the matchup we've all been kind of waiting for. We're going to see Birmingham versus Carson. Again, until someone local knocks off Birmingham or someone just in the city, period, knocks off Birmingham, they're always the team to beat. Garfield Gardena is absolutely a toss-up. But you know what? I'm gonna take Birmingham. I know you didn't ask, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna take Birmingham in that top one, and I'm gonna take Gardena down low. I think we're gonna see a Birmingham Gardena final. Although it would have been cool to see Carson and Birmingham play in the city final.
I think it'll be Carson and Garfield.
Wow, you're going complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
You're just doing that just for
well,
for
I
the show.
actually do believe that Garfield's offense.
No, you're a phony.
Gardena's got a great defense, but Carson, that was their best win of the year. I know Gardena played well against Carson, but I really think Garfield has been the number 2 team all season long.
You actually believe those teams are going to win?
I actually believe Garfield will win, yeah.
What about okay, he is a phony. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm just trying to be a little bit different. I do think Carson's got a shot.
Carson absolutely has a shot, but Birmingham's going to win.
They've won 40 in a row, Birmingham, against LA City section schools. Remember, the record's 42 by LA Wilson. They're on their way.
Oh, that's too funny, man.
All right, let's check out D1
okay.
in the LA City section.
Great.
There they are. I should have brought them up first. Dimely playing top-ranked Banning in the division, but Dimely's going to win, right, Tarek?
We're not really
It's
supposed
your
to say
ball
this,
club.
but I am pulling for them. I think the story and kind of just the inner city challenges that they go up against. But yeah, Dimely, they're going up against number 1 seed Banning. I think there was I can't think of it off the top of my head, but if Banning is on the flip side of a loss they had this year, they're in the open. But because they lost the game, they're in Division 1. Franklin Crenshaw, Crenshaw's a little bit of a, I know they're capable, but I'll be honest with you, I've kind of doubted them all year long, thinking, they'll falter at some point. So now what they're probably going to hate is I'm going to pick them to beat Franklin, and then maybe I'll jinx them and they'll lose. I don't know.
Disagree with you again. I love Eduardo Cuevas.
Okay.
He's the quarterback. He's thrown for nearly, I think it is right around 2,000 yards in his junior year. Very quiet kid, but if you talk to him about sports, he's very outspoken.
He lights up. Okay.
He lights up. He's a talk show guy waiting to happen down the road.
Love it.
Junior guy. Cuevas is going to get it done.
Okay.
Panthers win.
What about Dimely Banning?
Got to go with Dimely.
Okay.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Love it.
You convinced me.
Hey, man, welcome.
It's good to be on the bandwagon.
Okay.
LA Valley College is going to be on the bandwagon, too, pretty soon as well. All right, the last division we want to talk about, we've got some pretty good clubs here. And
Yeah, Angelou and Fairfax at the top.
Fairfax has been a big-time surprise here.
Chatsworth, San Fernando at the bottom, a nice little San Fernando Valley battle. But, wouldn't be surprising. I'll pick Chatsworth. But I think Angelou, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're like 11-0, 12-0. Then they haven't lost a game. So maybe Angelou's the team to beat in the division, but give me Chatsworth to beat San Fernando.
And then they got the next division, the last one we're going to look at, the Bell Eagles. Larry Zaval is our producer. He went to Bell, so we got to go with Bell. We got to go with Bell.
Okay,
and,
go Eagles.
Southeast and George Washington on the bottom there.
Hey, someone's going to be a champion.
Yeah, at least Larry is. He's going to get a title, I think. Can't go against the Bell Eagles. All right, I kind of jump-started this one with the LA Valley College. LA Valley College is officially going to host the LA City Section Open Division Championship. There'll be one other game there played as well. The city hasn't designated which other city final will be played there. So they'll have 2 games at Valley College and 2 at Birmingham. So LA Valley College is going to be the home on November 25th.
25th, correct. Yeah. So, a nice 2-day. On the 24th, I'll be at the LA Coliseum for the CIF Southern Section Division I final. And then I don't know where I'll be on Saturday. It just depends on what's going on in the Division II final, because that's probably where the Division II CIF Southern Section final is going to get played, is on Saturday the 25th. But maybe I'll be at LA Valley College to watch Birmingham versus potentially Gardena.
You mean Carson the Garfield game?
That was good. Hey, you picked up on that, right? That was good.
I did, yeah. The only thing that's a certainty is Bell's going to win the championship.
Got it.
That's what Larry will tell us. All right, there's been some great performances all year, and each week we've kind of reflected that. We've looked back at some great performances. These 3 guys have been great all season. And we start with Jerry Misa Alafua of Carson High School. Look what he did against Granada. 3 touchdowns rushing. He recovers a fumble for a score, and they beat the Highlanders.
Yeah, he's City Player of the Year type performer. We've got some highlights of Mr. Misa Alafua. I wonder if he's done enough to win the award. I mean, look at this highlight. Watch. This is what's next level college. He doesn't avoid contact. Look at running over Narbonne defenders, and a really, really nice kid, too. I don't know if he's a running back at the next level. Certainly a linebacker, I think, is more his natural position. But, when you got some size and speed, why not play a little running back? I like him as a City Player of the Year, although generally they give it to the champion, the player on the championship team. So I think it's likely Carson will have to win it in order for him to get that crown. So you're
saying you think Peyton Waters of Birmingham?
I think it'll be probably Peyton Waters.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think Jerry deserves the award.
That's fair.
Shane Rosenthal, again, every week, 15 receptions, 215 yards, 3 scores plus 2 interceptions, and he returned a kickoff for a TD.
I've seen it in person. I saw Newbury Park play Agora, and he had 2 interceptions in that game, and I think 3 touchdowns. And actually, this is a highlight from that game. Brady Smigel, nice corner. Look at this. Nice corner pass, catch. And how about celebrating with the youngsters, So Shane Rosenthal is, just this kind of, I think he's a slot receiver at the next level, only a junior. I've spoken with Greg Biggins, 247 Sports recruiting analyst, about Shane Rosenthal. He's like, he's a Power 5 slot guy. So I expect his recruitment to jump.
He's really good. I mean, it's every week. It's 10, 12, 15, 20 receptions. Crazy. All right, let's talk about Cornell Hatcher.
Oh, man.
This guy
man.
has been in a world by himself. He was dominant against Oulu with nearly 200 yards and the 5 scores. But again, he's another one, like Rosenthal, that's been great all season long. Every week you check what Corona Centennial do. Oh, Hatcher scored 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Well, this is what's different compared to Misala Fua and Shane Rosenthal. This is what's different about Cornell Hatcher is the dominance at the highest level. Randy, I think he has more than 30 rushing touchdowns on the year and over 2,000 yards, literally playing some of the best high school football programs in Southern California. So, and one of the, this highlight is important because one of the knocks on him is his breakaway speed. Well, there he is, 80-yard touchdown, outrunning everyone on the field. So this is a kid that's developed. He does have some Division I offers, although it's like Wyoming, Weber State, like kind of like low major programs. I think he's a Power 5 type prospect. Now, like, for example, Pac-12, okay, maybe not like Oregon.
There is no Pac-12.
Well, you know what I'm just trying to give an example. You know, maybe not like high-level Power 5, but definitely maybe low-level Power 5 type player.
Hey, the college coaches are not always right. I mean, Hatcher could be a great college player.
No question.
Might be an NFL player down the road for all we know. But we know one thing. In high school,
Great high school
he has
player.
been great
Yes.
for the Huskies. All right, what isn't great is what's going on at Palisades High School in boys basketball. They had a gazillion transfers. Now they're not going there. They're spreading out all over the place. You've covered this Palisades Dolphins event.
Yeah.
What's going on? I know they play games down. They're getting slaughtered, so none of these players are performing.
It's bad news. And, you know, I feel bad for some of these players. Long story short, they got 9 transfers in over the summer, and it just, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, per se. So I think 5 of them got denied eligibility. 2 of them received sit-out period, so they're sitting on the bench waiting to get eligible on December 24th. 1 of the 9 is playing, and so that just shows you. And the 5 that aren't playing, 5 of them have already left the school. So it's embarrassing. The coaching staff is on leave. The AD had to be the coach when they against their opener against Notre Dame, and they lost by like 50 or 60 points.
It was crazy.
It's not good, and I know that administration at Palisades is embarrassed about this.
All right, last week we went over our top 20, 25 teams in boys basketball in Southern California. I want to give you a little preview quickly with the girls. We picked just 3 teams here because 2 of them for sure are really outstanding. Etiwanda, they just look to be the team to beat. They were the state champions last year. Sierra Canyon's the other one who won the section title, and then Etiwanda beat them in the state. So the 2 champions in modern day seem to be the 3 teams.
Yeah, and just a good little tidbit is Kennedy Smith committed to USC. So that was a big surprise.
She's the star at Etiwanda.
Correct. She's the star at Etiwanda, thank you. And I think people were surprised because now she's going to team up with Juju Watkins at Sierra Canyon last year, who's there now, who's scoring 30 points in college already. So Kennedy Smith and Juju Watkins will be pretty cool at USC. That's definitely worth mentioning. But the season is young, and we'll see. I do think Etiwanda is the team to beat out of respect because they won the state championship. But I think Sierra Canyon, because of Jersey Robinson, might have the edge.
Yeah, Jersey's the new girl that came in, not from Jersey. We're from Arizona.
Correct.
Yeah, I like
Only
her
a
name,
sophomore.
though. Yeah, great player, kind of like a Juju Watkins kind of player. But the girl with the best name, now modern day's got a lot of great height, 6'3", 6'4" players. Get this name, a freshman guard, Harmony Golightly. Is that the greatest name ever?
No.
You got to do a story on Harmony Golightly. SB Live's got to get on that.
That's good. Harmony Golightly. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you know, and then again, modern day, Kevin Kiernan. I mean,
yeah, he's been
one of
there
the
1,000
best.
years.
You know, it's like, so he said he's been there for 1,000 years. Really, really good guy. And actually, Alicia Kamaki, who is the head coach at Sierra Canyon, her mentor is Kevin Kiernan.
Yeah. Kamaki's won more championships in a short period of time.
Correct.
Anyway, she's been phenomenal at Sierra Canyon. Speaking of championships, speaking of modern day's girls volleyball team into the state final. Guess who they're playing? They're playing Archbishop Mitty. Now, Archbishop Mitty's got a great chance. I mean, those are 2 of the top teams in the country. This one could go either way. But what you got to love about this final, they're both nicknamed the Monarchs.
Oh, that's
what
funny.
are the odds on that?
So we know we know the Monarchs are going to win the state championship. Yeah, you know, listen, high-level athletics, it's what California does, and it's no surprise that we're going to see 2 programs duke it out for the state championship.
I will say this, modern day was brilliant in the playoffs in Southern California. They had one tough match on the way to the Southern California Regional Finals. They've been the best team in SoCal. Had to get by some really stiff competition. But Archbishop Mitty has won more titles in the state than anybody, so that's not going to be easy. All right, so we got the championship game set. We know who's going to be in it. In the city section, Carson and Garfield, right?
I guess we'll find out. Tune in next week.
What are you doing this week? I know what we're going to do.
I'll be at Modern Day Sierra Canyon.
Okay. We have those flag football games for you. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Sylmar, we just heard from their head coach, Brooke Kalama, against Verdugo Hills, and they beat Verdugo in overtime, 18-12 the first time they met. And then the much-anticipated match, San Pedro and Birmingham. Birmingham, because it's a designated site and it happens to be at Birmingham, is the home team. That's going to wrap it up. For Tarek, I'm Randy. We'll talk to you Saturday from Birmingham. Good night, everybody.
I want to see you wear flags on the broadcast.
Carson and Garfield.
Saturday for the flag football championships, you need to do a demonstration.
Yes.